I saw one part of the film where you tell the president, be a unifier. We have such division in this country. What do you want him to do in terms of be a unifier? How can he unite the country? You've been able to, because you've got fans on both sides of the aisle. You're one of the most popular people in the entire administration. So what should the president learn from you?
Well, I give him my advice, and we talk about that, and we could see that the country is divided, and it's very hard. No matter what he says, they don't like to listen. And what's going on in our country now, I feel that it's a lot of pushback, and I hope it stops.
But what can the president do? What can you advise him in terms of being a unifier?
Well, that's what I say to him. I think he's doing fantastic job. He had a great success, and he's unifier. He's positive thinking, forward thinking. He wants to put, this country in the order that everybody can live here freely, not in danger. He would like to have a country that all of the people can walk down the street and not to be harassed or murdered or women raped. I think it's very important. And what happened a few years ago, so many criminals came over the border, and he closed the border now a while back already. And we need to take care of our citizens.
The First Lady also giving some insight into what she does and does not watch on TV.
I like the clip when the president said, did you watch it? You said, no, I didn't. I'll have to see it on the news. You're not watching him all day long.
I can't. I have work to do. I'm not in front of TV. I work, so you travel, you in different places, you need to do, what is you called for. So you cannot watch all the time.
And don't miss Maria's full interview with the First Lady coming up at 8:30 Eastern Time. Melania debuts in 1,500 theaters tomorrow. And, she does work, to be clear, Maria, yes. Children in foster care, the dangers of AI and children. She's doing amazing work with that. And then, of course, pushing for the reunification of these Ukrainian children that have been kidnapped by the Russians. Well, she's very busy.
That was one of the key things that she did, writing that letter to Putin, getting children back to home. But I love what she did recently with AI. She had a Zoom call, and 2,000 schools were on that Zoom call to talk about implementing AI in the schools. That's important, because that is what people are worried about, that AI efficiencies are going to kill jobs, Kevin.
Kill jobs, but also enable skills. So having children in schools adopt and learn about how they can implement AI is critical. And I think she hit on one of the most important things about the Trump presidency, and that's law and order, when you were talking to her and people feeling safe walking down the street. And if you don't have law and order in a country, you don't have a country, right? And this goes back to 250 years ago. The reason why we became a country is because we wanted life, liberty, pursuit of happiness. Law and order is at the cornerstone of that, and also supporting our citizens and vis-a-vis, helping educate them on AI.